Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of A Talk with the Galactics. Today's episode is on a very unique species from the Boots constellation. They call themselves the Seeth. They look very similar to a tall white species. They look very similar to the Orpheons or some of the Zetas. It is my belief that they were seeded by the bad guys and then evolved. And then maybe moved. Well, that's just my theory. As they look very similar. But only instead of pointed ears like the Orpheons or some of the Assyrian groups have, they have ears that wrap around the head with little holes all around the wraparound for surround sound, pretty much. Kind of like a flute that goes around the head. Alright. This one that is here with me, this man that is here with me, different than the very first one I encountered weeks ago. His name is Seeth, and he wishes to speak about their species and their purpose here. So, I will let him talk. Greetings. My name is Seeth, and I am of the Seeth people. You see, in the times of clearing all of your junk and doing a lot of your inner work, it is necessary to help clear programming issues, very deep-set ones. We are the ones that answer that call. Some have called us angels of clear-headedness and the like. Granted, we do not use the term angel, that is your word, but I digress. We help with programming issues and memory retrieval from lost times, from your abducted periods, of which we do not approve. We are indeed from the Boots constellation, along with that confederation of worlds that is out there. The Fjorgi and many other species. We know them well. Yes, indeed, we do have a similarity to your tall whites and your Orpheon species. Is because the DNAs involved in the Orpheon species and your spindly grays, known as tall whites, or Orion Nordics, as some have called them, are indeed included in our DNA, because we were indeed seeded, but not in the Boots. We migrated to the Boots after being seeded in multiple petri dish worlds, you would say. Once our species evolved, we figured out we were already in chains from the Orion or Harvester presence. We broke free of this by changing and altering our vibrational state to one they could not feed upon. We swore that we would not allow programming to touch another, but we could not interfere with the lessons of another. So here we are, after moving to the Boots and seeing a bunch of kind species there. We decided to answer the call, to help serve others, you would say. We are here, on your world, in the physical, to help with this deprogramming process. Even our energetics, close to yours, can aid with memory retrieval. because we believe that one should be free and whole again, sovereign, but not enabled. This is our purpose on your world. We stand with you and help you, but if we appeared to you, would you welcome us? Because of the deep-set racial programming your people are under, we would not dare show ourselves. The ear apparatus that this one sees is indeed flesh, but is bonded to the skull, very much like your ears are. It is a growth that we adapted over a period of time to be able to hear into different wavelengths. Like a flute plays music on different tones, we can hear in a very similar manner to your musical instruments. And hear those tones, and hear the tones that are not being played. You see, you are made up of sound and light, and shadow elements. Some tones are being played while others are not. You would call this your higher essence, and you would call this programming and blockages. We aim to help with this, but again, we cannot just reveal ourselves all over your world, especially the fact that we very closely resemble the ones doing the programming. Some may go, oh, we've seen this race before, they're doing this, and not be able to discern one from another. The same goes with the Orpheon species. So, with this, I actually send you a blessing from our people to yours, from my heart space to yours, in the hopes the sound tones of my voice will help deprogram others and help bring back what was lost and what needs to be found in the current moment. My name is Katark, and I bid you farewell for now. Whew. Whew. All right. I know that wasn't very long, folks. But we can also retouch on these species in the days and months to come. Whew. Actually, his energy is very refreshing. From channeling him, I can feel a lot changing. I can feel my energy more stable, more fortified, more grounded. Because after all, people that have their head in the clouds, supposedly, are actually the more grounded ones. And he's acknowledging this. Think of it reverse of what you would think. Think of it as those that are not, how can I put this, that are programmed are not necessarily grounded. And those that have their head in the clouds with magical and mystical ideals are really the grounded ones. And he wanted to make sure that I said this. Thank you, Katark. So, I know this is not a very long... I'm looking down at the timing here. It's not very long. I apologize for that. But there will be future episodes on some of these species that we've already touched upon, so they can actually tell their story more in depth, maybe for galactic history or what have you. So, thank you again for listening to another episode of A Talk with the Galactics. Bye-bye, everybody.